Deep beneath the earth rules the relentless and somber brother of Zeus, Hades. His kingdom is filled with darkness and terror. Never do the joyful rays of the bright sun reach that realm. Bottomless chasms lead from the surface of the earth down into the sorrowful dominion of Hades. Dark rivers flow through it. There runs the sacred icy river Styx, by whose waters even the gods themselves swear their oaths. There roll the waves of the rivers Cocytus and Acheron. The souls of the dead fill their gloomy shores with lamentations full of sorrow. In the underworld also flow the waters of the spring of Lethe, which bring forgetfulness of all earthly things. Across the dark fields of Hades' realm, overgrown with the pale flowers of asphodel, wander the weightless shadows of the dead. They mourn their joyless existence without light and without desire. Softly their sighs are heard, barely perceptible, like the rustling of withered leaves driven by the autumn wind. From this kingdom of sorrow there is no return. The three-headed infernal hound Cerberus, with serpents writhing about his neck and hissing menacingly, guards the exit. The stern and ancient Charon, ferryman of the souls of the dead, will never carry a single soul back across the dark waters of Acheron to the world where the bright sun of life still shines. The souls of the dead are condemned to a joyless existence in the gloomy kingdom of Hades. In that realm, where neither light nor the joys and sorrows of earthly life can reach, rules the brother of Zeus, Hades. He sits upon a golden throne beside his wife, Persephone. Serving him are the relentless goddesses of vengeance, the Erinyes. Terrible and merciless, armed with whips and serpents, they pursue the criminal without rest. They give him not a single moment of peace, but torment him with the pangs of conscience. Nowhere can one hide from them, for everywhere they find their victim. Beside the throne of Hades sit the judges of the realm of the dead, Minos and Rhadamanthus. There too stands the god of death, Thanatos, holding a sword in his hands, clad in a black cloak with vast dark wings. A grave-like chill breathes from those wings whenever Thanatos flies to the bedside of the dying to cut a lock of hair from the head with his sword and release the soul. Near Thanatos hover the dark Keres. On their wings they rush wildly over the field of battle. The Keres rejoice as one hero after another falls in combat. With their blood-red lips they bend over the wounds, greedily drinking the hot blood of the slain and tearing the souls from their bodies. Here too, beside the throne of Hades, is the beautiful and youthful god of sleep, Hypnos. Silently he flies over the earth on his wings, holding poppy heads in his hands and pouring a sleep-bringing potion from his horn. Gently he touches the eyes of men with his wondrous wand, softly closing their eyelids and plunging mortals into sweet slumber. Mighty is the god Hypnos. Neither mortals nor gods, not even Zeus the Thunderer himself, can resist him. Even Zeus he lulls to sleep, closing his terrible eyes and casting him into deep slumber. Through the dark kingdom of Hades also wander the gods of dreams. Among them are those who send prophetic and joyful visions, but there are also gods of dreadful and oppressive dreams that frighten and torment humankind. There are even gods of false dreams who lead people into delusion and often guide them toward destruction. The kingdom of relentless Hades is filled with darkness and terror. There wanders in the gloom the dreadful specter Empusa with the legs of a donkey. Luring travelers in the night into lonely places by cunning, it drains all their blood and devours their still trembling bodies. There too roams the monstrous Lamia. By night she creeps into the chambers of happy mothers and steals their children in order to drink their blood. Over all these ghosts and monsters rules the great goddess Hecate. On moonless nights, Hecate wanders through the deep darkness along the roads and among the graves with all her dreadful retinue, surrounded by the hounds of the Styx. She sends terrors and heavy dreams upon the earth and brings ruin to humankind. Hecate is invoked as a helper in sorcery, yet she is also the only protector against sorcery for those who honor her and offer sacrifices to her at the crossroads where three roads meet. Terrible is the kingdom of Hades, and hateful it is to mortals. The great goddess Hera, the wife of the Aegis-bearing Zeus, is the patroness of marriage and guards the sanctity and inviolability of marital unions. She sends spouses numerous offspring and blesses the mother at the time of a child's birth. After Hera and her brothers and sisters had been cast out from the mouth of Cronus, who had been defeated by Zeus, her mother Rhea carried Hera to the far edge of the earth, to the gray ocean. There, Thetis raised her. Hera lived for a long time far from Olympus, in quiet and peace. The great thunderer Zeus saw her, fell in love with her, and carried her away from Thetis. The gods celebrated the wedding of Zeus and Hera with great splendor. Iris and the Charites clothed Hera in magnificent garments, and she shone with youthful and majestic beauty among the host of the gods of Olympus, sitting upon a golden throne beside the great king of gods and men, Zeus. All the gods brought gifts to their sovereign Hera, and the goddess Earth, Gaia, caused a wondrous apple tree with golden fruits to grow from her depths as a gift for Hera. All of nature glorified Queen Hera and King Zeus. Hera reigns on lofty Olympus. Like her husband Zeus, she commands thunder and lightning. At her word, dark rain clouds cover the sky, and with a movement of her hand she raises dreadful storms. Beautiful is the great Hera, ox-eyed, lily-armed. From beneath her crown fall waves of marvelous curls, and her eyes burn with power and serene majesty. The gods honor Hera. Her husband Zeus, the cloud-gatherer, honors her as well, and often seeks her counsel. Yet quarrels between Zeus and Hera are not uncommon. Hera often opposes Zeus and disputes with him in the councils of the gods. Then the thunderer grows angry and threatens his wife with punishment. Hera falls silent and restrains her wrath. She remembers how Zeus once had her scourged, how he bound her with golden chains and hung her between earth and heaven, fastening two heavy anvils to her feet. Mighty is Hera. There is no goddess equal to her in power. Majestic, in a long and splendid robe woven by Athena herself, she descends from Olympus in a chariot drawn by two immortal horses. The chariot is made of silver, its wheels of pure gold, and their spokes shine with bronze. Fragrance spreads across the earth wherever Hera passes. All living things bow before her, the great queen of Olympus. Hera often suffered offenses from her husband Zeus. Thus, it happened when Zeus fell in love with the beautiful Io, and in order to hide her from his wife Hera, transformed Io into a cow. But by this the thunderer did not save Io. Hera saw the snow-white cow Io and demanded of Zeus that he give it to her as a gift. Zeus could not refuse Hera. Having gained possession of Io, Hera placed her under the guard of the hundred-eyed Argus. The unfortunate Io suffered greatly. She could tell no one of her misery, for, transformed into a cow, she had been deprived of the gift of speech. Argus, who knew no sleep, watched over Io, and she could not escape him. Zeus saw her suffering. Calling his son Hermes, he ordered him to carry Io away. Swiftly, Hermes hastened to the summit of the mountain where the hundred-eyed guardian kept watch over Io. With his words, he lulled Argus to sleep. Hermes waited until Argus's 100 eyes finally closed. In that very moment, he drew his curved sword and with a single stroke cut off Argus's head. Thus, Io was freed. Yet even this did not save her from the wrath of Hera. The goddess sent a monstrous gadfly against her. With its burning sting, the insect drove the unfortunate Io, maddened by torment, from land to land. Nowhere could she find peace. In a frantic flight, she rushed ever farther and farther, while the gadfly pursued her relentlessly, striking her again and again with its sting. Its bite burned Io like red-hot iron. Across how many lands did she run? In how many countries did she wander? At last, after long wanderings, she reached the land of the Scythians in the far north, where stood the rock to which the Titan Prometheus was chained. He foretold to the suffering girl that only in Egypt would she be freed from her torment. So Io sped onward once more, driven by the gadfly. She endured many hardships and faced countless dangers before she finally reached Egypt. There, on the blessed banks of the Nile, Zeus restored her former form, and she gave birth to a son, Epaphus. He became the first king of Egypt and the ancestor of a great line of heroes, among whom was the greatest hero of Greece, Heracles.